What?
Poof, there it is. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Two Comic Book Dudes. We are doing Marvel event coverage this week, and we are talking about Standoff, Assault on Pleasant Hill. So that's the new Avengers event that kicked off at the end of February. We have 3 books to talk about this week, actually. We're catching up from last week and then 2 from this week, and some pretty good stuff, actually. We've read them all, analyzed them all, and now
Actually,
we're going to talk
actually,
about them.
yeah, we're getting caught up because there were no Pleasant Hill books that came out on the 16th.
Oh, right, right. That's right. It was last week's.
Right, right.
Right.
So we got
Yeah,
a
I didn't even
we
think
got a
about that.
week off. Yeah, we got a
That's
week
right.
off. So now we're getting
So,
caught up with 3 books in one show, and
yep,
then next week it'll be, I think, just one book. So,
1 book. Yep, and we'll talk about that at the end. So, all right. Well, if you are unfamiliar with the whole standoff premise, basically there was a Shield project called Kobik that was to use shards of cosmic cubes to alter reality. And it was a decommissioned project. Decommissioned, supposedly. Wasn't actually decommissioned. What they did was they created a little community up in Pleasant Hill, Connecticut, and they used the cosmic cubes to change reality. So they have taken supervillains with powers and changed them into just regular Mayberry RFD home people.
hmm
So, needless to say, some people are not very happy about that. And you got secret somebody's, leaking information, and Captain America and Captain America both on the trail of what's going on. You got Maria Hill, who's running the place, and just all kinds of weird stuff going on. So, there's also this little girl who seems to have the powers to manipulate, and she was actually formed from a cube.
hmm
So that's kind of cool. Anyway, we'll talk about that as we get into the story here. So, even created a cool little PowerPoint presentation to show you guys. So you could look at covers and cool pictures. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
What?
So right off the bat, we want to welcome you to Pleasant Hill. We had already talked in our previous episode of about the prequel book that they did, which was called Pleasant
Welcome to Pleasant
Hill.
Hill.
Welcome to Pleasant Hill,
Yeah.
and that was so yeah. So this first issue we're going to talk about, this was just the basic cover there, but we both got the variant covers, which were pretty cool, and had some great artwork on them. A lot
I'm
of
in the little
activity
box.
going on. So, do you want to talk about this one?
No, let's just dive into it right now.
Okay. There's a ton of stuff that happens in this book. We
Yeah.
start off with the folks, basically uh, Bucky has come back from space. We found that out in the first issue, in the prequel issue. And he is hunting down, of course, the biggest threats to mankind, to Earth. And the biggest threat at this point seems to be this Project Kobik, the whole Pleasant Hill thing. So he's trying to route out what's happened.
hmm
So he comes to Captain America, old Captain America, Steve Rogers, and tells him, here's what's going on, and I need your help, and we got to find this. So he leaves him a little calling card and has him show up at this diner, and then they talk. Meanwhile, Captain America, formerly Falcon,
Yep.
was fighting the Green Skull, some kind of eco-terrorist weirdo ripoff of Red Skull, right?
Yeah, and the Black Skull and all those other guys.
Yeah.
Everybody's a skull.
Yep. And he's kind of like, why can't I get real villains like Steve Rogers did? It's pretty funny. But then if you ever read some of the old Captain America comics, you know that Captain America had some of the cheesiest, stupid villains
Oh
too.
my gosh. Yeah, they were just like throwing anything they could, just like, yeah,
Yep.
he needs a villain.
Yep.
Just make somebody that's strong. Yeah, go with
Yeah.
that. Okay.
And when they were out of villains, then they'd turn him into a werewolf or something. There's like, how
Oh
many times is he
God.
a werewolf or a lizard or just weird stuff. So pretty funny. So anyway,
Okay.
so Steve and Bucky talk. Bucky explains the whole thing. Here's what's going on. There's this going on. That
You
there's
need to
this
go check it
village.
out.
Right.
Yeah.
Go stop it.
Right.
And then Captain America, Falcon. I still have trouble just calling him regular Captain America. He
Yeah.
is hunting down the Whisperer, this guy or person or lady or somebody who's been mysteriously leaking stuff like WikiLeaks kind of thing. But he has his website called Whisper Leaks.
Right.
Not a rip off at all.
That, but then we find out who that is.
Yep.
Pretty quick through the book.
Yep. And we're gonna spoil this because this is 2 weeks old.
Yeah.
So it's Rick Jones.
Rick Jones. Abomination.
Yep.
Or
A-bomb.
A-bomb. That's right.
He was A-bomb. Yeah. Of course, he's
A-bomb.
been depowered. The whole thing with the Hulk did.
Right.
Doc Green did a while ago. Depowered all of the Gamma people.
Pre-Secret Wars.
Yeah. So is that still? I guess that's.
I guess so. She-Hulk still. She-Hulk, but she didn't lose her, so.
Yeah, but didn't he depower her too?
No,
I thought he depowered everybody through the whole thing. Okay, that's weird. Huh. Anyway, I don't remember. It's been several months back now.
Indeed.
All right. Probably. So, moving on. So yeah, he's like, of course, it's me. I'm the Whisperer. Blah blah blah. I've always been a sidekick, and now I decided to just do my own thing. And so, with both, kind of, you got Captain America coming in from one side and Steve Rogers coming in from the other side. At this point, they're all out to find out what happened. Steve Rogers and Maria Hill team up and jump in what you call it, one of those jet things, Quinjet things. Right, I couldn't remember if they're called Quinjets or what, but yeah, and fly off toward Pleasant Hill, and then the S.H.I.E.L.D. folks show up to stop Rick, and and Captain America take off, and he drops Rick somewhere, and that's the last we see of Rick in this episode. As he takes off running, he's like, "I can drop a shield tail. I'm the Whisperer." So then you have Maria Hill and Steve Rogers walking through Pleasant Hill. Going, here's all these wonderful things that are going on, and this is all the good stuff we've been doing. And look, here's the soda jerk, and he's really Crusher Creel. Like, right. Oh, nice.
I mean, it is completely like your 1950s style Pleasantville town.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty cool. But and from a really lofty viewpoint, it's a good idea, because here's these people who would otherwise be in a prison, which how many times have they not held these guys, right? The raft and the Supermax and the blah blah blah, and then
they always get out.
Always. So this way, the cosmic cube's altered reality. These people think they are someone else. Yeah. It's probably violating some human rights kind of stuff, and it's probably, this and that other things, but Is it serving a purpose?
Yeah.
Is it really, they're doing good? I mean, the Wrecker is a home repair guy. He's doing home renovations, which is like the opposite of what he normally does. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, it all boils down to Kobik, this little girl. And really interesting, because the one scene that I thought was neat was she says, here, and you can't really see it, but she says to Steve Rogers, your star, they're not all pointy like that. They're round, like the sun. And he's like, you sure about that? She says, I've seen him here. And she points to his chest, and this little glowing ball starts going. She says, I fixed it for you. And then he's like, what is she? And they're like, Kobik, that's enough, let's go rest. So my thought is, she just fixed the fact that his super soldier serum was not acting like it was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Right here, first issue. We're not going to see the effects right away.
Right, it may take a little while for it to kick in.
Yeah, let me zap that back to, it's working now, So I think that we just saw Captain America or Steve Rogers become Steve Rogers super soldier again. But we'll see if I'm right there. So Kobik is the amalgamation of these shards, and she was basically turned into a child and raised as a child, and that was the way they could kind of control her and have her learn and have her grow. And she runs the whole place, with their, of course, supervision of S.H.I.E.L.D. and everything. So that was kind of interesting. Meanwhile, in the basement of the is it the
villainous basement?
The trapster, right?
Yeah.
And several other people, and Baron Zemo, of course, leading the crew of hand-picked individuals who are changed back to their normal selves so that they can, of course, cause some trouble. Like Nitro, who blows the crap out of the mayor's mansion or the courthouse, and a bunch of other guys who just all of a sudden jump in and start blasting the crap out of the town. So,
Right.
yeah, it's a mess.
Everybody jumps in.
And yeah, then of course at the end, we've got this whole scene of Baron Zemo and all the guys, and they're like, haha, here we are, ready to take over. So that's Standoff, the Alpha 01. This is really the big kickoff to this, and a lot of stuff happens. Like I said, I really like this. I love the way they wrote the story, put it together, had kind of two parallel stories going on, and then the end, you kind of have everything come together. It's pretty neat.
Okay. Okay. Just because you touched on Steve Rogers and maybe getting younger.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have the book with you?
Yeah.
All right. Go a page after she does that to his chest, and look at how white his hair is. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
And then go 2 more pages to where he's inside the control room, and his hair is gray and not white.
Oh, interesting. That may just be shadows, though,
Maybe
too.
shadows. Maybe shadows. Or
maybe
it's foreshadowing.
Maybe. Yeah, I think it's just really, really crappy S.H.I.E.L.D. lighting, but you never know. It's good to think.
Yay! Get around the way.
And then look, his hair's red here. Oh, that's the light.
Oh my god! Wait, they turned him into who?
It's like red. He's a ginger. Oh no.
Ginger cap.
Oh, anyway. He's a red cap. One of those villainous little gnomes. Yeah. All right, so that was Standoff. Very, very good, very cool. I mean, definitely leave us some comments. Let us know what you thought of that alpha. I mean, it's a double-sized issue. It's got some great story in it, and it brings out some villains that we haven't seen for a while, and kind of gives them a spotlight, which is cool. I mean, Nitro, I didn't even know he was still alive. He hadn't been around since the first Civil War.
Right. Well, they probably kept him under wraps.
Maybe, because he did start the whole thing. So, yeah. So, all right, I'm done with that book now. I can put it away. Yay, bag and board. All right. Next, last week, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 3. This one came out. I picked it up. I really liked this book. I like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I love the show. And so this is just really kind of spinning off from the show. So you've got Coulson and May, and you've got Daisy, and you've got Fitz and Simmons, and you've got Henry, the Deathlock guy. You've got Bobby, Mockingbird, and I think that's it as far as the group. So it starts off with Mockingbird and Fitz falling out of an exploding airplane over North Korean airspace and kind of riding each other into one of the into their big boat plane that they have, the floating base, right? And saving each other. So it's kind of funny because it starts out with some kind of risque jokes too, She's like, go limp. And he's like, I'm flattered that you think I could get a bleepy bleep this high off the ground, to these conditions, she says. But this is, relax your body, Fitz. Oh, okay. It was pretty funny. Anyway, one of those things like, did they really just say that? So.
Or is it just Fitz? Yeah. Like, yeah. Well, didn't mean it that way, dummy.
It was funny. So, meanwhile, basically this storyline picks up in the middle of Coulson and his team trying to retrieve a quantum drive that holds a bunch of data that endangers all the lives of all of the Earth superheroes. So whatever this information is, it's pretty critical. They're working with Coulson's ex-girlfriend, Lola, who's also telepathic, which didn't know anything about Lola. And in order to track down the thief of the data. But turns out she's working for the Pentagon, and she just passed the information to this robot, or LMD, and Coulson kills him and shoots him, decommissions him with extreme prejudice, he says. Now they're trying to track down where the auction for the data is going to be. So whoever has it is some guy who created his own Iron Man suit. He basically reverse engineered Iron Man's technology, Tony's technology. So that's cool. Plus, he created this LMD,
right? Which is out there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what she said. It's like old Shield technology.
Mm-hmm.
So Coulson tells the team then, here's the deal. Rick Jones is Whisperer. He's the one who told about Kobik. Kobik was supposed to be decommissioned, but it wasn't. And now this stuff is going on at Pleasant Hill. So he sends a group to Rick's apartment, which we know has already been vacated in the last book, in order to search out the apartment, see if there's anything that the Shield team that's been there before may have missed. So this
Right.
is a team made up of Simmons, Deathlock, Henry, and um, Daisy, the Quake. So,
Right.
Daisy with the powers, the Inhuman girl. So the three of them go there. They look around. It's, the place is a mess. But of course, Simmons in her biotech abilities scans for bio residue on one of the walls and finds a handprint, like from oils, where it's been pressed. And she finds a secret compartment, finds the drive they're looking for. Henry plugs it into his head and reads the data, finds out where Rick Jones had been running to, where one of his hiding spots was. So
Mm-hmm.
they take off and go into the Morlock tunnels, which we haven't seen for a little while. Um, and it's funny when they're going into the tunnels. On one side, there's a little graphic that says X Fools, and it's got a picture of Wolverine giving horns to Cyclops. And then on the other side, it says Callisto rules.
Nice.
Callisto used to be
Nice.
the
The
leader for the
leader of the
Morlocks, so
Morlocks, yeah.
pretty funny. So they find.
Force defeated. Go ahead.
That's right. They find one of the Shield agents tied up on the wall, and that's who they were tracking. They thought they were catching Rick Jones, but they got the Shield agent. Rick Jones comes out of the shadows, throws U.S. Agent Shield, knocks down Deathlock, shows Ringmaster's hat, and takes control of Deathlock and makes him fight Daisy. So then Rick almost gets away, but Simmons shoots him, which
Oh
is
wow.
interesting because she's taken a vow not to kill anybody. So it turns out that she used
Just
rubber
shooting in the leg.
bullets. She shot him with rubber bullets. Yeah, he didn't die. So they basically take him back to the boat and have him kind of in holding. So meanwhile, on Shield on AIM Island on Barbuda, which is really it's the island that what's his name bought, right? Isn't that the island that the new Avengers are based out of? That Sunspot purchased?
I don't know. I didn't read that one.
Yeah, he's taken over AIM and he
Mm-hmm.
bought them, so he owns Barbuda. Anyway,
Yeah.
I was kind of confused by why this is all like evil villain stuff, but it seems to be, evil AIM. I don't know. So maybe they just don't know about all that. Anyway,
Aim's always going to be evil, man.
yeah. So, but the coolest part of this book was we start to see maybe the impact of the cosmic cubes on the world, because as these folks, Bobby and May, are infiltrating the island, they're going into this dinner party. They're waiting to see when the auction is going to happen. This girl walks up to this guy by the bar and says, um, "Why, hello there, cutie. I'd heard you were dead." And he says, "Wouldn't be the first time." And it's Wolverine,
It
but the
appears to
younger
be
version.
Logan. Yeah.
Much younger version of Wolverine. So yeah, it appears to be Logan. Could it be a clone thing or some kind of a duplicate created by the cosmic cubes? We don't know. Could it be the guy who's reverse engineered the Iron Man armor and he's engineered some kind of a image reshaper? Very possibly. So we don't know who that
Right.
is.
Who knows? Mr.
Yeah,
Sinister could show up and be like, "No, it's a clone." Make
yeah,
fun.
could be. So meanwhile, back on the Shield boat, the new Avengers come busting in to get Rick, and that's kind of where we leave off with this. Now, the interesting thing about this story is this one's continued in New Avengers #8, not in the next book that we're going to talk about from this week. It's actually the one that comes out. Does that come out next week?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're kind of skipping over,
They
connecting
jump
certain
around on the
stories.
story. Yeah.
Yeah, which is okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm
overall,
sure
though,
at some point all the stories will converge and we'll get everybody in
yeah.
the same book or something.
Well, overall, we're pushing the plot along, which is
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
So, and our final book for this week, Uncanny Avengers #7.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm gonna let you talk about this one because I've talked about 2 books now.
2 books. Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
This one. Let's see. Where do we even start off with this one? Everybody's kind of dispersed or doing their own things at this point. We got Steve, who's already in Pleasant Hill with Maria Hill,
Right.
and just got blown up at the end of Alpha. Quicksilver's out, running around, kind of checking on Wanda, but doesn't want to talk to her, so keeping his distance. Voodoo's out doing his voodoo thing in the woods.
With his brother.
Right? Is that his brother?
That's his evil
Was that?
brother, yeah.
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 Everybody's got
Who's
an
dead.
evil brother, or like
Yeah.
an evil mirror of themselves that they randomly talk to.
Yeah. Or an evil past personality, like some people. They used to be evil, now they're good, like Quicksilver.
Mm-hmm. But then we have Rogue, Cable, and Synapse. Is that her name?
Synapse, yep.
Synapse.
Like
And,
synapses in your brain, yeah.
yeah, Cable's trying to talk to her and trying to tell her how much more powerful she could be if only she'd focus more. Basically, was what he's saying.
Yeah.
And then we got
cool because
Deadpool.
he's trying to get her to read minds, basically. He's trying to train her. And
Right.
she's like, I can't read minds. He goes, no, but you can do something better. And that's kind of cool because it's like basically becoming a lie detector.
Right.
And she has
valuable weapon.
Oh, yeah, so she can smell strawberries when somebody's lying, and she can smell seaweed when someone's telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really kind of cool. That was two very different scents.
Yeah.
But that's
something
a neat
sweet for a lie. You'd think it would be opposite, but no.
Yep.
But then we jump into a chase. We got Deadpool's hanging out of the helicopter. They're chasing after I guess it's a
Humvee or something.
Yeah. But we don't see who's in it initially. But we do find out it is the Wrecker.
The Wrecker.
Yeah. But I like that Deadpool is definitely caddyshagging it up with his golf gear.
Yeah.
Had some fun art there. I like that rainbow jacket. Basically, they just got.
Yep, it's pretty funny.
Always keeping it light.
And we know. I don't know if because you weren't reading Deadpool Mercs for Money. I think that was no. It was on Uncanny Avengers last month when he fought the Wrecker, and then he paid him to go look for Red Skull stuff. Was that last month or month before?
Was it last month? I don't know. I want to say I read 6 like last week or something. I don't remember that. So maybe it was
in Mercs for Money. It was in one of the Deadpool books, but he fought the Wrecker because the Wrecker was tearing up the Avengers Mansion, and it was like Avengers Mansion, but it was Avengers Mansion now, which is basically a theme hotel.
All right.
So was that not in Uncanny Avengers?
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe it was in Deadpool Mercs for Money. I don't know. This is one of those books, one of the Deadpool books. Definitely in too many books right now. But it was pretty cool. So he basically wanted to go back to jail, and of course, Deadpool beats crap out of him, and he gets him all wrapped up for whoever to take off. And we're like, oh, he's going to jail, but he didn't go to jail, and that's kind of what this is all about. Is that he is an escapee from Pleasant Hill.
So at this point, they stop him, and he kind of spills the beans on where he's been, what's going on, and what happens then? We get S.H.I.E.L.D. then shows up, tries to take him.
Well, but who crawls out of the Humvee with him? Who's his passenger? He's got Maria Hill as his passenger.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So he and she both escape from Pleasant Hill, and she says, "I'm Maria Hill, and I almost became a permanent resident of my own prison." Basically. So what happened? That's like what we don't know. I mean, we know Nitro blew the crap out of everything and all the villains attacked. And so did the two of them sneak out somehow and escape from all of that? So now, are the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents being imprisoned by the villains? That's kind of what it sounds like the villains are taking over.
Sounds like they reverse roles.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yep. So then Deadpool gives the Wrecker back his crowbar. It's like my favorite scene in the whole book. Because he's holding a crowbar and he goes, Barbara? That was just funny. Anyway. Yep.
I mean, something you spend that much time with. It's part of you. You're going to name it, I guess.
Yep.
But then we jump in and we got some S.H.I.E.L.D. robots that show up. And, of course, the team takes them down pretty easily. And they head off to Pleasant Hill.
Without the Wrecker.
Yeah, they drop him off on the way.
Yeah, literally.
He looks like he's going to be okay. He yells, so he's fine.
He's pretty tough. But Deadpool is basically like, hey, you took my money, go find some Red Skull leads. Go do
Mhm.
your job, you know?
Yep.
Because that was the whole thing. He paid him. He's like, here, take some money, get out of here, go do some good stuff, you know? And he just wanted to go to jail. That was his whole thing. So,
Right. But then the team actually arrives. They meet up with Quicksilver and Human Torch. And just as they're cresting the hill, oh yeah, we're spoiling this. We have a
it
ship.
was last week. So, yeah, we're
Yeah,
just
that's
spoiling.
right. That's right. We have another like Quinjet or helicopter show up, and it looks like that's another Maria Hill in it, and it opens fire on the team. That's where
Yep.
we leave off.
And blasts the crap out of them.
Yeah, seemingly so. I mean,
Yep.
Deadpool will be fine. Everybody else may be in trouble.
Cable's pretty tough too. Rogue should be okay. And Human Torch, what's a little fire, right?
Yeah, that probably shouldn't affect him at all.
No. So, but yeah, that was definitely a cool ending. So we got 3 books from last week. We've got a new book coming out next week, all new, all different Avengers, number 7. So definitely be sure to pick that one up if you're following along. We will do a show to summarize that book and kind of tell you what's going on near the end of next week. Probably do another Friday because Fridays seem to be. This is Thursday, right? Thursday or Friday to do this is, you know, it's easy enough to read the book and get it out to you. Yep. So, and you know, definitely stay tuned to our channel though, because we are going to be doing Apocalypse Wars reviews as well. So we have one of those coming up shortly for the first book in the Apocalypse Wars in Extraordinary X-Men, right, for this week.
Yep, number 8.
So that's crossing over all of the different X books. But definitely stay tuned. Next week we'll do all new, all different Avengers and see what's going to happen to Pleasant Hill. What, you know, now that the inmates run the asylum, what are they going to do with the power of Kobik and the shards of the cosmic cubes?
Right, and we got to find out what's going on with Steve Rogers.
Yeah, is he really going to get young again? We know he is because I've already seen the previous stuff. I think I did an article about it a few months ago.
Yeah, the new book that's coming out soon.
Yeah, we know he's going to be young again. How does it happen? This may be how it happens.
This may be it. You may have picked up on it right there. I thought she was just making a star in his chest, and by that extension, she's like Franklin Richards powerful. You know?
Oh yeah. Well, did you read the Captain America mini series or the series? I guess the last Captain America series before he got old.
No. I mean, just like the last couple issues when it was taken out of him. When I heard that was going on, I got the last couple issues. That was it.
Okay. So yeah, Iron Nail was this
right, extracted his secrets, the serum out of him,
and hit him in the chest with a spiky tail that left a scar in the shape of a star on his chest. So when she says your stars, you know, that's why I was like, your star's not, you know, like, well, that's a scar in his chest. So that's very interesting. I just think that, you know, there's going to be more here. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
No, but that could be it, man. You could have picked up on it. That makes me want to go buy more copies of that book.
Of Alpha. Just be like, this is where he got it back.
CGC 9.8.
So remember, you heard it here first. Go invest in Avengers Standoff Pleasant Hill Alpha 01. So anyway, stay tuned. We'll cover some more stuff next week. Please leave us some comments. Let us know what you think about this event. Is it just going to fall flat? Is it basically just another one of Marvel's waste of time things to change one big thing in the Marvel Universe? Is this just to get Steve Rogers back his youth? I hope not. Yeah. I hope there's some cool stuff, but
if that's the only outcome we get out of this, it'll be worth it.
Unlike the other ones where it was like just to bring back Captain Marvel or just to, you know, I mean, how many different things have happened? Like House of M, that was just to bring back Carol Danvers. That's the whole point of House of M. Yeah. And to screw up the mutants. So, you know. I know. Crazy. Cool. So, all right, everybody. We appreciate you watching. Definitely like, share, subscribe. share our channel out with people. Please help us get some more subscriptions. We're really trying to boost our subscriptions on our channel and get some more people out there watching us, and just get the word out about comics. I mean, there's so much cool stuff going on in comics right now. Every Wednesday we do our haul show, so definitely check out the haul here on our channel. We've had some great interviews over the last few weeks. We interviewed Mike Martz from Aftershock Comics and talked about all the cool stuff going on with Aftershock. There's just been so much stuff going on. Next week, we're interviewing a guy, the showrunner for the Four States Retro PopCon, which is up in Pennsylvania. So a ton of stuff going on, and some cool giveaways coming up as well that I'm working on right now. So neat stuff to look forward to. All right,
giveaways. So keep watching, like, subscribe, do those things, and comment.
Yep, people do win, really.
You do win.
All right. Read more comics. Talk to you later.
Yeah. Thanks. Have a good one.